Hello, and welcome to the latest episode of Through the Pages. This episode, we're bringing back an author who got a ton of press last year. Good review on this channel, Brit Bennet. Her first book, The Mothers. Haven't seen a lot of people talking about it. So her big one, The Vanishing Half, is the book that you see everywhere. On every ad, every little side ad, all the time, everywhere. Rightfully so. It's a freaking incredible book. That was one of my favorite novels that I read last year. Tied for a second, I'd say, on favorite novel published in 2020. Stuart Turton came in with that Devil in the Dark Water. It was so darn good. This book, The Mothers, it reminded me a lot of James Baldwin's big novel, If Beale Street Could Talk, in that it was a good type of informative on like race and black life without being like ham-fisted about it and like this is what it's like to be black. It's just like a very accurate portrayal of like what life is like and that sort of insight when it's in a particularly like difficult situation like this, that it's easier to kind of understand a little bit about what that experience is like. And I feel like that's the best type of education in some way, like just a more empathetic approach than some oftentimes white people saying like this is what you need to know. Like this is just very genuine, and so it kind of revolves around, without giving anything away here, just a story of a young girl going through difficult problems with relationship and next chapters of life and that, and kind of revolving around the community, mostly from her church, the congregation there, and sort of the mothers. So the title says the kind of the older matriarchs, who I think like any young person, you know, you're going through stuff and you're like, yeah, those older people, they couldn't understand. And then you have some of these older ladies who's like, honey, I did that, and then I'm also 20 years older, so like, you can talk to me on this stuff, I know. Like, so it was a very, very thoughtful book. It kind of makes sense in the order that this would be the first and Vanishing Half would be the second, in that this is a much simpler story. I think The Vanishing Half got rave reviews because of the complexity or the layers to it, where this was pretty straightforward. It was one situation, and I mean, yes, how it affected other people too, but really it was just focused on one woman and the man on the other side of it, a couple other people around, but really it was just like this one situation unfolding that is a very commonplace situation. And so it's just one of those that you see how it's a situation any human can be in, but in the sense that they already had difficulties in life, being born in a country that is unequal, exacerbates every challenge of it. And then as you're trying to make decisions, you have that weighing on you at the same time, and just the strife of it all. And without it being just a depressing read, like it wasn't a depressing book, but like if you saw like a movie come across on Netflix, one paragraph, and it was just kind of talking about this, and be like, I don't know if tonight's tonight, like, you know, like it would seem heavy maybe, but she writes it in such a way where it's a balanced, I'll say. Like it's not heavy, but it's also not like jokey in there either. I really enjoyed it, and it was a novel that was able to kind of like buzz through fast, which I just like those. It's the combination of the writing and then also just being really engrossing. And to me, like, that's just a sign of a good novel. Whether something is like easy to read, I don't see that as like a knock, or that like I want to read harder books. Like that's not really me. I enjoy that. Like literally the next book I'm reviewing was not like the easiest read. But this was, it was a fascinating book, and I would say like if you like The Vanishing Half, you will probably enjoy this, but don't expect the magnitude that Vanishing Half was. A friend said recently that she worked on Vanishing Half for like 10 years. He kind of knew someone who knows her, and a little bit of telephone game there, but I can see where The Mothers would be something that like maybe envision as a short story blow it out into something bigger and like be able to kind of get through it faster, where I could see where The Vanishing Half would take a lot more time and kind of like going through it, going back from the beginning, adding more layers and things like that. But it's nice to just have a story that is simple yet has a lot going on in a way that, I don't know, it was just good. It was just really enjoyable to read. So like, I don't have a ton to say about it, honestly. Like, it was just good. It was just a good book. So if you see it out and about, it's worth picking up. And it's something that, if it's sitting on your shelf, you're sitting there with a bunch of thick books all of a sudden, like, put it on your shelf, you'll buzz through it. It's nice to have books like that. Like, I'm reading this book right now, The China Study, and I'm getting to like the thick of it where like, I know he came out with a bunch of fascinating stuff and it's kind of like drudging through, and I'm enjoying it, and there's a lot to learn there, but it's one of those where I've been kind of like stepping around it because like that one's gonna hang me up for a while. I'm gonna be on that for a while. So it's nice to have a book like this. It's like a weekend book. And yeah. Definitely check out Brit Bennet. But if you have not read either book yet, definitely read The Mothers first. It's so worth it. And I was so surprised through 2020 and even into this year that like I've literally not heard anyone talking about it. Like of all the people I know that have like read The Vanishing Half and just rave about it, and it just doesn't seem like this one got like roped back in. And yes, it's a simpler story, and it's a simplistic word to keep using. It's you know, it's not as complex intellectually as The Vanishing Half, but I think through reading it there is a lot of depth there as well. And so yeah, definitely check it out. Brit Bennet, I'm eager for the third book, just like everyone else is, but I hope everyone appreciates book 1 and 2. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. I have one more book review I'm about to fire up now.